Hello everyone, welcome to What If Deku was trained by Garou and becomes the human monster part 2. Before we start, please go support ancalagonintheblack for writing that awesome fanfic. Now let's begin. Questions. Well people, this part is for you to ask me questions of all kinds of whatever you want and I will answer them. If you want to ask me for a fic or something, you can do it right now if you want me to create one. Meeting. After Izuku and Momo had their night of passion, these two woke up the next day going down to eat something. After that, they were talking for a while until the doorbell rang and a maid opened the door, seeing some heroes who they entered the place. Momo. What does this mean? Go. Hero. We're sorry but we came for Izuku. Izuku. It's okay, I'll go with you. At that he stood up but his hand was taken by Momo. Momo. I'm going with you. Izuku. No, I'll take care of this, I can already imagine what's going to happen. Momo. Please come back. Izuku. And so it will be. Izuku went with the heroes who took him to a part where the best from Japan and the United States were. Izuku. Why did they call me Endeavor? You see, those in the United States think that you are a threat to them for being trained and living with Garou. Izuku. I see, I'll just tell you this. I was trained by Garou, someone I consider like a father. The only thing that makes us different is that I will be a hero with the rules of the law, so you can rest assured that I won't do something to you. Tatsumaki. I don't believe you at all. Metal Bat. I say that if he is capable of attacking us and is going to use his pretty girlfriend as an excuse. At that Izuku breaks the table in two with a look that was scary. Izuku. Don't bring her or my daughter into this. Silver Fang. From what I see we can leave him alone, the boy is not like Garou after all. After that Izuku went to Momo's house while they went to UA. Although Izuku explained everything that happened when he arrived at UA. They went to Izuku's room where they opened the door but saw a baby in Izuku's bed. Izuku. What's a baby doing here? Momo. I don't know. When they approached, the baby woke up and when he saw them he started to laugh while extending his hands to the two, so Izuku picked him up, noticing some things. Izuku. How does Momo have skin like yours, apart from having raven hair like yours? Momo. Although he looks like you, look at his eyes, he has freckles, apart from having the same smile and messy hair. They saw that there was also a girl the same age as the baby who was picked up by Momo. Izuku. And she has the same eyes as yours apart from the same hairstyle. Momo. Although she has a dark green like yours. The baby begins to grab Izuku's hair while the other grabs Izuku's nose. They walk to the room with Eri in hand and when the class saw them, they were surprised. Eyes. Izuku already did it. The boys took Izuku, making him leave the baby with Momo and she was surrounded by the girls. Girls. Mina. Have they already done it? Jiru. They are very cute. Toru. They look like you too. Eyes. Hiroshima. Izuku, you are a real man. Mineta. You are incredible. At one point they came back together so they could see how the babies tried to say a few words. Babies. Mom, Dad. They said it looking at Izuku and Momo and they were impressed, but when they looked at Eri they said sister. Izuku. He told me Dad. Momo. Mom told me. Eri. I'm an older sister. Before they continued they saw how a portal was generated, so Izuku stood in front of the babies, Momo and Eri. Izuku. Stay back. They saw how two hooded people came out who gave off power. Izuku. Who are they? Man. We are the parents of those babies. Momo. As you can see. The one who seemed to be a woman knelt down although she approached, making Izuku attentive. Woman. Come on Silver, Sonia come. The babies began to crawl towards the woman while the man showed a photo of the babies, making it clear that they were theirs to leave. Izuku. Oh, and I wanted to fight him. In the portal, the hooded men take off their things, showing an adult Momo and Izuku. Momo. We don't have to let them get back into May's time machine. Izuku. Although it was good to see each other young again. Heart. After Izuku went to the meeting where they demanded that the boy go to Totters, but it did not end up being that way since Izuku remained as if nothing had happened so that he could see the baby in his room until they arrived at his parents who took him from the place in a portal, so Izuku was calm with Momo. Eri. Mom, Dad, can I go to the park? Izuku. Yes, come on, I'll accompany you. She said it while she was accompanying Eri to leave, but when they left, a brown-haired girl had an evil smile at this, so she approached Momo's room, knocking on the door so that it could be opened by her. Momo. What do you want, Uraraka? Uraraka. I have something to show you. She said it while she showed a folder which caught Momo's attention, so he let her in while she was in the park. Eri. Dad, how much do you love Mom? Izuku. I love her enough to give my life for her and for you because they are the most precious thing to me. A while passed when the two of them were in the park and Izuku was helping Eri in some games. Izuku. Eri, do you want to see where Grandpa and Dad lived before? The girl only said yes so they could go to Izuku's house where they went in and spent some time. Eri. Is this Grandpa? She said it by showing a photo of Izuku and Garou together, so Izuku had a nostalgic smile. Izuku? Yes, it's Grandpa. She said it so that they would pass some time until they went to UA, where they entered to go to Momo's room, where they knocked on the door only to hear some cries. Izuku? Eri, wait here. The girl paid attention to see that Izuku quickly opened the door to see Momo crying, so she approached him. Izuku? Momo, what's wrong? The raven girl looked at him furiously, making him wonder what happened, but he received a slap from the girl. Izuku? Why is that? Momo? Don't do it. She said it to show some photos of Izuku and Uraraka with the date and time kissing, scenes before when Uraraka entered Momo's room. Momo? What do you want to show me? Uraraka? Only the love that Izuku and I still have. She said it to show the photos, which made Momo start crying back. Izuku? But it's not me, Momo-chan, I didn't do. Momo? Shut up and go, I don't want to see you get close to me or Eri. The boy only stayed silent to leave Momo's room. Eri? Dad, what's wrong? Izuku? Eri, from now on you will stay with Mom for the moment, yes? Eri? Yes. Izuku? Be strong. The girl noticed her father's tears, so that he entered her room while it began to rain, and later she came out with a large backpack with all of her things, while she said goodbye to her friends. Izawa? Are you sure you want to leave, Izuku? You know that the League of Villains can attack you. Izuku? Yes, I'm sure I'll be fine. She said it while she left the place at the same time that a brown-haired girl had a smile. Uraraka? First part of the plan ready. Izuku arrived home only to leave his things on the floor, followed by leaving the backyard, seeing the grave of his teacher and father, without having the top of his shirt to start hitting his hand, hurting himself, while he would scream and change into his full monster form and break the tree with a scream of pure pain. The boy, after Momo has somehow kicked Izuku out of UA, apart from the fact that Eri saw a photo of her grandfather Garou, the days passed in which Izuku did not attend classes, or if he did attend, although he showed the sadness on his face, although he hid it very well with a smile, while he stayed away from Momo and Eri. As the jet asked. Todoroki? Hey Izuku, are you okay? Izuku? Yes I am. Todoroki? It's just that you seem very tired. Izuku? There are some nights that I don't sleep at all. Todoroki? If you need anything I can help you. Izuku? Thanks but no. Izuku left, but Uraraka approached him. Uraraka? Hello Deku-kun. Izuku? Leave me alone. Uraraka? I only came to talk to you a little, I say, since you're free. Izuku? Leave me alone. Uraraka? But Deku, I want to mend that broken heart. Izuku? Shut up. Uraraka? The two of us are here to be one with him. Izuku? Leave me. Angry aside that his eyes and voice changed to his full monster form. That's when classes ended and Izuku was walking down the street calmly with a smile that hid his pain, because everyone knew him until he collided with a boy who was younger than him, so Izuku helped him up. The boy was a white hair with golden eyes, apart from having a hairstyle similar to Garou's, making Izuku see his father for a second. Boy. Sorry. Izuku. It's okay, hey, where are your parents? Boy. They're coming, I'm Silver. Izuku. My pleasure, I'm Izuku. That's when the heroine Mirko appears. Mirko? Silver, you have to get your vaccine, it's the 5th time you've escaped. Silver? But it will hurt. At that, Mirko took Silver out of the place, making Izuku have a small smile along with a laugh that could hardly be heard, imagining his father that way. The days passed, and a meeting was held where the presidents and vice presidents of each class was in. What was agreed that Momo and Izuku would be in charge of looking at some papers, although the green-haired boy had a small smile that Momo noticed. Momo? Look, don't think that by signing papers we will be united again. Izuku? But I didn't say. Momo? Shut up, just sign the papers quickly and get out of my sight, no smiles or anything. The green-haired man only felt bad at those words that hit his heart, so he only signed the papers with Momo until they reached a part where they signed, since there were too many of them for Izuku to leave the place. When Momo went to his fourth, he noticed that Eri was not there. Momo? Again. He said it to go where Izuku's room was to see Eri in the middle. Eri? When will Dad be back? Momo? It's going to take longer. Eri? Why did you get angry with Dad? Momo? Come daughter. She took Eri to her room where she showed her the photos that Uraraka gave her, but the girl noticed something, and it was the days and times. Eri? They're fake. Momo? What are you saying, daughter? She said it confused. Eri? Those days and times Dad and Uncle Todoroki were spending time with me, and I never saw that girl near Izuku. Momo, upon hearing that, called Todoroki, which was her. Todoroki? What's wrong? Momo? Tell me, these days and times were you with Izuku and Eri? Todoroki? Yes, although in some Izuku was with Shoji or Kirishima, but the rest he was with him. Momo, upon hearing that, looked out the window of her room at Izuku, who was waiting for the bus. Izuku? How long will the bus take? Seeing that, Momo ran out trying to get to Izuku. When she left the building she saw the green-haired boy getting on a bus, so she tried to quicken her pace, but when she was close, the bus began to move, while the door that showed the boy's back green was closing, so Momo stayed still knowing that she didn't arrive on time. Repentance. After Izuku spent a few days away from UA apart from the fact that one day Eri and Todoroki told Momo about the photos, so she tried to go for the green-haired boy, but he didn't arrive in time to talk, so he returned to the building. Everyone was calm talking normally, but when Momo arrived, he ran to Uraraka to hit her that knocked her to the ground, leaving her nose bleeding, but before she could continue Mina and Jiru had her preventing her from continuing to hit her. Uraraka. What's wrong with you? Momo. You damn made me separate from Izuku. She said it with tears. Lita. Wait, what's happening? Todoroki. Uraraka made fake photos of her kissing Izuku, causing Momo and Izuku to separate. Everyone looked at the brown-haired girl with notable anger. Uraraka. What do you expect me to do? You don't deserve Izuku but I do. Before Uraraka says anything else, Todoroki froze her from head to head so that Mina and Jiru could take a crying Momo to her room. Shoji. I don't think anything good will happen at the moment, but tomorrow everything will be fixed. Todoroki. I don't think so. Koyami. Why? Todoroki. When she was walking I saw Izuku with a blank look without feelings as if his soul was taken out. Shoji. We just have to wait until tomorrow to see what happens. The next day when everyone went to UA. The girls who were outside the classrooms blushed and one more than another fainted when they saw a red-haired man. Shoji. You'll see that everything will be fixed Todoroki. Todoroki. I don't think so. Jiru. Come on Momo, just tell him what you discovered yesterday and that's it. Just then the door opens revealing a red-haired man with one completely red eye with a serious face, so he could sit in a part where he was alone. Shoji. Is that Izuku? Todoroki. Yes, it is. That's how normal classes went until break. Todoroki. Hey Izuku, what's that change about? Izuku. It just helps me be more attentive, you know if there are problems. Shoji. Izuku, there is something we want to tell you about Momo. Izuku. Please don't start with that. Haminari. But Izuku. Izuku. I kindly ask you not to continue. The boys only stayed silent so that the hours passed and Izuku and Momo were signing some papers, being the last ones in an uncomfortable silence for the girl. Momo. Izuku, how are you doing? Momo's mind. Among all the things you can say and jump with it. Izuku. Pretty good. Momo. And your training? Izuku. Not bad, I'm back to hard, bone-breaking training, but I'm doing well. She said it while she was signing some papers making the Raven girl unable to feel better. Momo. Izuku about the photos. Izuku. I'm done. Momo. What? Izuku. I'm done with my part. She said it to leave the papers on the table, only to get up and leave the room, while Momo finished the last ones to run for Izuku, but she saw how the class was in front of him. Uraraka. Deku-ku. At that, Izuku punches her in the face, lifting her into the air a little, so that she falls to the ground. Izuku. I already told you not to bother me several times. Uraraka. But Deku. He said it taking his foot making him have an angry face making the others prepare for a fight. Todoroki. Izuku we don't want problems. Izuku. Todoroki, I would attack them, they are my friends, even if we fight, they wouldn't win against a monster like me. He said it while walking, but saw Eri. Eri? Dad. Why red hair? Izuku. Eri, you know why I walked away. Eri. No. Izuku. You see, I'm a monster, and monsters can't stay close to a princess like a voice. He said it while he gave her a pained smile that he hid, but Momo noticed that to see how he left UA. When Momo tried to reach him Izuku was gone, after that Momo was at her parents' house crying in bed, while her mother had her head in her lap and comforted her. Momo. And then when I tried to reach her she was gone. Momo. Daughter, we can't do much, but once you were able to take the pain out of her heart you can do it again. Momo. But mom this time it's colder than before, apart from the fact that she doesn't even want to have her ex around her now she doesn't want to see me. Momo. Daughter, if we women can do something, it is to enter the heart of a man, re-enter Izuku's feelings and heal his wounds, but do not let him fall in love with another, otherwise you will lose him forever. Momo. Fine I'll do it. Issues. After Momo tried to fix things with Izuku, which did not work since the days went by, and Momo tried to be with Izuku, but he always distanced himself from everyone, barely having any time to be with his friends, since he almost always she trained and studied, although the news broke that Izuku had not been with Momo for a long time, so the girls were trying to be with Izuku. Now Momo was walking down the hallway but saw a crowd of girls. Girl. Izuku-kun can you come with me? Izuku. Not at the moment. Girl. And me. Izuku. I don't have time. Hendo. Hey Izuku, what do you think if we go to a martial arts tournament? Izuku. I'll see if I can. May. Do you want to try a new experiment? Izuku. Later. Ibara. I heard that you have pretty plants in your house. Can I go someday? Izuku. I don't know who said that, but if it's true we'll see why you go. It made Momo happy that Izuku rejected them, although it pained her that he was so cold to everyone, even to her, but she remembered her mother's words. If he falls in love with another girl you will lose him forever. Momo in her mind. Today I get him back at all costs. Classes went on normally until it was time to leave, so Izuku, as always, went to his house before everyone, so Momo made a decision. Mina. Momo, where are you going? Momo. I'm going to get Izuku back. He said it to go to a forest where he saw a cabin where he knocked on the door, but there was no answer, so he turned around, so that in the patio he came to see a body in a part of the forest being Izuku, who was in a pose of he fights with the palms of his hands, but when a wind passed which caused some leaves to fall, but as soon as the first one touched the ground, Izuku moved at a great speed so that he ended up in the same pose so that for a few seconds the leaves were on the trees. Even the one that was on the floor was cut in half, surprising the jet. Izuku. What do you want? She said it as he walked to his house passing by Momo. Momo. I came to talk just. Izuku. Then speak and leave. Momo. But maybe there's no way I can fit. Izuku. You have nothing to do here, we don't have a relationship that goes beyond colleagues or president and president. He said it to stand at the door ready to close it, staring at Momo. Momo. Izuku, it's about the photos. Izuku. If you're upset because I talked to Eri a little then there's no need, if it was all then there's nothing to talk about. Before he closed the door completely he was thrown to the floor by Momo, who was giving him a very strong hug, as if his life depended on it. Momo. I'm sorry. Izuku. Huh. Momo. Your Raka showed me the photos and like a fool I believed her before listening to you because of the sadness I felt, apart from the pain of the photos, I didn't listen to you and I was filled with anger, but you took the worst part of all this, I'm very sorry. Izuku. I know that you were deceived and how you felt, so I try to keep my feelings closed to anything, but I don't know if I can forgive. Momo. I just want your forgiveness so that I don't mistrust you again. If you show me a photo, a video or even a girl tries to prove that she was dating you, I will only believe you, I will listen to you no matter what happens, but I don't want to leave you. I don't want to leave you alone. Izuku. I never blamed you for anything, I don't know why you ask for forgiveness. At that moment Momo is about to kiss Izuku, but they feel a tremor that prevents the kiss, so that they go outside and see a huge enzyme ship of theirs. Izuku. This will be a problem. The king. After Izuku has shown this new cold behavior to everyone, apart from that one day Momo went to his house to show him her regret, but before they kissed, a tremor interrupted them so they left the house, seeing a huge enzyme ship of his. Right now some of the top 10 heroes had appeared along with the S-class ones. Endeavor. What is this? Tatsumaki. Without a doubt a spaceship has already passed through our country. Izuku. Momo, go with Eri, and I want them to stay in a place where nothing will happen to them. Momo listened to him to go to the UA building. By Eri, well, Izuku was able to jump to the ship where she managed to enter. Izuku. Who are you? Alien? It's not obvious, we are the followers of Mr. Boros. In one quick movement Izuku knocked out all the aliens to start running to start destroying parts of the ship while something else was happening on the ground. Tatsumaki. I'll take care of the ship. Silver Fang. We will take care of the alien that came off the ship. Endeavor. We'll help fight too. In the distance there was a man who looked at the ship with a smile. Man. He's already in and he wants to fight. He said it to jump out of the place while with Izuku, he defeated whoever in his semi-monster form until he arrived at a room where he saw an alien with one eye, golden armor and a red cape. Izuku. From the way you look, I guess you're Boros. The being only gave a smile because he could see a presence of a monster inside the boy to rise from a throne. Boros. If it's me, I see that you have a monster inside you. Izuku. What are you talking about? Boros. I am a conqueror of planets. One day a prophet told me that he would reach a planet where he would be defeated by a true monster. Izuku. Well, my father was a monster, so I think he does talk about me. Boros. I hope you give me the fight I'm looking for. He said it to go against Izuku, who dodged his blow to begin attacking Boros with a barrage of fists and kicks which sent Boros into a breaking pillar, followed by his armor also breaking. Boros. Truly you are the one from the prophecy, you broke my armor, but that doesn't matter because my armor was only to contain all my power. He said it while completely releasing power, so the two of them began to fight at a high speed, causing them to go from one side to the other, colliding with pillars of the place, so that in a moment they ended up outside the ship, leaving enzymes of it looking on each other, although Boros released more power while a helicopter filmed them and others making people see on the news. Reporter. Genel, the boy who helped in the fight against All for One, is fighting against the one who seems to be the leader. Those of the UA. They looked worried about their friend's partner, but more like a raven girl and a white girl. Izuku. If you will do your best then I have to do the same. He said it with a sadistic smile while horns appeared on his head, while his forearms and hands had a dark color while he had claws, his teeth changed to fangs, and a tail appeared, while his feet also had a dark color, and his eyes were completely red with a dark center. Izuku, you will fight my full monster form. He said it so that the two would disappear at the same time, starting to collide with each other in different parts of the ship in a way that only a purple line and another dark line could be seen, which hit impacts from blows, but in one Izuku made some movements with the palms of his hands so that some cuts appeared on Boro's body which regenerated so that he received a kick from Izuku, followed by him going in front of him to hit a combo of punches and kicks, which made Boro's finish fired against a building of the ship, but he returned against Izuku appearing behind him to give him some blows that sent him flying, followed by taking him by the tail to crash him with different parts to send him flying, but he sent him an energy attack which had hit Izuku squarely, causing him to lie face up on the floor. Boro's, well, I have a very accelerated regeneration, yours is slow, so you have only recently had that form. Believe me, I would like to fight more, but I don't think it will be possible. He said it as he put a foot on Izuku's chest to start putting pressure, making Izuku scream in pain, making the UA, but more Momo and Eri feel bad and helpless for not being able to do anything for Izuku. Boros, you are a monster, but not the one I am looking for. She said it while he prepared one more attack to finish off Izuku while he closed his eyes. Izuku, how bad I will die this way and I couldn't even protect my family. He said it while closing his eyes, but heard a voice along with a blast of blow that sent Izuku flying. Man. Current that destroys rocks. Izuku. Silver Fang. He said it by opening his eyes, but was left in shock with his eyes wide open. Izuku. Dad. He said it looking at Garou's back. Garou. Well, who else, after all I am the king. Izuku began to get up while his wounds were already healing. Izuku. But I thought you were dead. Garou. More than once they pierced my body so that attack from the villain wasn't going to kill me, I just pretended so you could reach your monster stage. Izuku. But I buried you. Garou. Digging a hole, but it doesn't matter now, we'll face this thing. Izuku. Don't fake your death this time. He said it as he stood up next to Garou so that Garou changed into his full monster form and Izuku gained muscle. Father and son. After Izuku had fought against Boros, he was on the verge of dying, but was saved by Garou, only to get up next to his father, changing into his full monster form to remain in a battle pose before Boros, who watched all this at the same time. Then those who watched the news. Boros. I hope they give me a fight. Garou. You will fall before the king of monsters. Izuku. And his son. Boros went on to use his maximum power. Boros. I only use this form when I know I have worthy opponents in front of me. Izuku. Shut up and let's finish this cheap copy of Goku Phase 3. The three disappeared at great speed to begin fighting at a much greater speed than before, clashing fists and kicks which made the ship tremble. While those below watched the ship shake while they had already finished off the aliens. Endeavor. Our attacks are working, the ship is falling. Silver Fang. Everyone look at this. Everyone entered Izuku's house to watch Garou and Izuku's fight against Boros on TV. Tank Top Master. The hero hunter fights the leader. Silver. And his son too. Tatsumaki. This is an insult to us, we have to be fighting there, not them. Silver. Tatsumaki, calm down, it looks like none of us could against that alien, but we can't against Garou either, so we'll let them fight. He said it while watching how Boros dodged a blow from Garou, but received cuts from Izuku's claws on his back, so that he received a kick from Garou, sending him crashing to the floor, followed by the two falling on him with a blow, causing them to return. Inside the ship continuing with the fight inside, only that they destroyed more things with each blow that one of the three gave. Reporter. Apparently they continue the fight inside the ship, but we can say that it is a big fight because of the explosions inside. At the UA. Momo. Come on Izuku, you can do it. In the fight Boros hit Izuku, but he had to block an attack from Garou, but Izuku appeared below him and made him go through the ceiling with one blow, fighting again outside the ship so that everyone could see the battle that took place again. It was taking place between the three beings who kept up the fight, no matter what, until they knocked Boros away with one blow. Boros. Damn humans, you're worth the effort. Boros. I will give everything I have in this last attack. He said it while he prepared his attack and Izuku along with Garou did the same. Boros. Collapsing star cannon. Izuku Garou. Courageous skyscraper current swirling fist. They said it while the two attacks collided, creating a large explosion that caused the helicopters to move away, but when the cloud of dust left, Boros was seen dead on the ground while Izuku and Garou were standing while the ship fell to the ground. Garou. Everything is over. At that point the ship began to drag and Izuku noticed that where it was going to crash was the building where his companions were. Izuku. No, we have to prevent it from colliding with that building. He said it while he and Garou ran to jump off the ship, ending up on the ground, but they saw that the ship was approaching. Garou. Do you know this is going to hurt us? Izuku. Yes. Garou. And you also know that after this we will need a hospital. Izuku. Yes. At that point they ran to the ship so that they ended up colliding with the ship while they were also dragged, although Garou increased his size by large amounts, being much larger than before, and Izuku tried to use all his strength to prevent the ship from colliding with the building. Being something almost impossible, but the two in a great scream that ended managed to stop the ship just a few meters from colliding with the UA, while Garou changed to be smaller. Garou. That sure was tiring. Izuku. And bad for the muscles. And that's some of the UA. They leave, but Momo runs to Izuku. Garou. Well, I'll leave you alone with the girl and I'll see you at the hospital. He said it as he walked to a hospital and Izuku was hugged by Momo. Momo. I was very worried. Izuku. It's okay. At that Momo touches his cheek to kiss him, but Izuku moves his head away, removing his hand from his cheek. Momo. What's wrong? Izuku. Monster. Momo understood what he meant, but she just touched his cheek again so he could see her. Momo. You are not a monster. It doesn't matter what people tell you or what you look like or your power. What counts is the way you act and your heart, and you acted like a hero, not like a monster. Even if you were a monster, you are the monster I fell in love with. He said it to give Izuku a kiss, while Izuku reciprocated only to leave his monster form and fall unconscious. Garou stays. After the great battle that Izuku and Garou fought against Boros, apart from preventing his ship from crashing with the UA. They were in a hospital just waking up so they could see each other in an uncomfortable silence until one of them started the conversation. Izuku. So you're still alive and well. Garou. Yes. Izuku. Your fake death was so that I could finish completing my monster form. Garou. I didn't have many options other than I had time to visit someone. Izuku. Don't tell me you have a woman. Seeing Garou's face he understood everything. Izuku. You already have a woman. Garou. And I'm not the only one who could smell certain things in your jet. Izuku. Well, they are small details, but why didn't you show up sooner? Garou. You know, never leave your wife alone or she will kill you. At that moment, 4 people entered through the door and each one stood next to her men's bed. Mirko. Hey love, don't you think you went a little too far with poor Boros? Garou. It was just a few hits. Izuku. The heroine Mirko is your wife. Apart from the fact that that child is your son, no wonder he looks so much like you. Garou. And that girl is your daughter? Izuku. Something like that, it's eerie. Garou. Hey Izuku. Izuku. You think the same as me? The two of them had a smile that their wives didn't like at all. Izuku. A fight between the two now. Before they finished speaking, they received a blow to the head from their wives that sent them to the floor. Momo. They're not even recovered. Mirko. And they already want to fight. The two of them were laughing, but the S-class heroes and those from the top 10 entered through the door. Tatsumaki. Garou, because you are a villain, you will return to us as a prisoner. Izuku. They won't take anyone today or ever. She said it as she stood up. Cute prisoner. Sorry kid, I understand that he's like a father and all, but he understands that he committed crimes. Izuku. In that case they will take me with him. Those words surprised the heroes. Izuku. At least I'll get off one of you. Tatsumaki. And how do you plan to do that? Izuku. Eri, remember what we said if you found your grandfather's father again. When Eri said it as if it were a bullet he went against Silver, taking him ahead while he had him on the floor, making them impressed. Dark Shine. Well, one, but not that. Silver. I wonder he'll do this. He said it with a bomb in hand that no one, not even I, knows where he got it from, making everyone turn pale faces because of this. Metal Bat. Well, we don't have to go to those extremes. Mirko. Besides, they are in our territory and we decide if we hand over Garou since he did nothing wrong here. Nezu. Out of pity for you, he's right. Tatsumaki. In that case we will leave, but as soon as you do something bad Garou we will come for you. He said it as they left. Izuku. Eri leaves the old man. When he said that Eri let go of the leg of a fainted Silver Fang. Eri. So your grandpa Garou. Garou. Yes. That spent a while until they left the hospital and Izuku took all his things to UA. As soon as his friends arrived they received him, but a brown movie ruined everything. Uraraka. Before he finished Momo punched him and Izuku glared at Uraraka. Izuku. Don't speak to me again. Uraraka. Why? Izuku. For trying to separate me from my Momo-chan and my daughter. He said it to go leave his things. Festival. After all the crazy things that happened at UA apart from Garou and Izuku's fight against Boros, everyone was calm watching the tasks they had to do, but a green-haired man who was calm on the couch having finished the task, saw how some papers were put in front of him. Izuku. And this? Momo. It's cultural festival stuff. Izuku. Cultural festival. Momo. Yes, after our separation on one of the days you were missing this was said. Izuku. I see. Momo. You just have to see and authorize the things that everyone in the room mentioned. That's when he starts looking at the papers so that he ends up in the concert, so everyone except Izuku started practicing how to dance. Hiroshima. Izu bro, what are you going to do? Izuku. Eri has never seen a festival, so I'm taking her to see it. At that she left to start walking with Eri, who was watching everything until she bumped into someone. Tesu. Be careful with the dragon head. Izuku. Sorry, I wasn't watching where he was walking, I was teaching Eri about her first festival. Tesu. You're Izuku, you were great in that fight. Izuku. Thanks, I think. Monoma. Maybe they are the strongest when it comes to fighting, but in this we will win with the work of. At that point he receives a blow from Izuku, rendering him unconscious. Izuku. I'm sorry but I can't stand it anymore. Tesu. It's okay, neither are we. Izuku. Wait, I have an idea. At that he puts a sign on his back that he said. Kick me. Tesu. He might get angry about this. Izuku. It doesn't matter, if he bothers I'll hit him. At that point they separated so they could begin to walk calmly until they went to eat. Izuku. What did you think Eri? Eri? I don't know, are you and mom already together? Izuku gave a smile to speak, but his eyes were covered. Who I am? Izuku. Love. At that he takes the jet to kiss her. Izuku. Yes Eri, we're already together. Eri. Fine but do it in private. The two of them smiled at this so that the day began to pass, although the part where Izuku would face the villain who was going to activate the alarms was Izumi who faced it so that the night would arrive where Mirio was with Eri so that they could see how it began. The concert. Before anyone left the place, someone got on stage to the surprise of everyone and even more so for class 1 since it was Izuku. Momo. I thought you weren't going to participate. Izuku. Yes, about that I wanted to do something very important, Jiro allow me to sing. Jiro knew what the green-haired boy wanted to do so he gave it to him and Izuku put a player ready to start the music. Izuku. What I'm going to sing now is for a girl who took me out of my loneliness and showed me a feeling that I never thought I knew. During the song he approached Momo making her blush so he could take her and at the end he gave her a kiss hugging her waist and she hugged Izuku by the neck before the eyes of everyone who applauded for this at the love that he had. Izuku showed them the woman he loved making some want to have Izuku as their boyfriend. Izuku. Momo yaoi rozu I love you. Momo. I love you too Izuku. They said it while they had their foreheads together, well what they said was heard through the microphones making everyone hear it while they looked at the scene with tenderness, making it clear that they won. Monoma. Come on, that can't beat my work. He couldn't continue because they hit him. Todoroki. After the festival was held in which everyone participated apart from Izuku who showed the deep love he has for the jet, so days passed after that in which they were calm, although one of those days something would happen to him. Interesting to Izuku. Todoroki. Izuku. Izuku. Is something wrong? Todoroki. No, I just need your help. Izuku. For what? Todoroki. It could be in a more private place. Izuku would only get up from the couch to start walking with Todoroki until they reached a specific part where there was no one. Izuku. What's wrong? Todoroki. It's about Izumi. Izuku. Talk now. Todoroki. Well, you are like his brother, although you don't consider yourself his brother. Izuku. Yes. Todoroki. It's just that she. Izuku. Yes. Todoroki. I like it. Izuku. And you expect me to solve everything. Todoroki. More like I wanted a little help from you. Izuku. You keep in mind that it's been years since I was with her or had anything close as siblings. Todoroki. No. Izuku. And what about the other stupid one? Todoroki. Shirin, you know he can't be trusted. Izuku. Well I'll help you, tomorrow I want you in the park at 11 in the morning. Todoroki. Why? Izuku. You'll see. He watched as the boy went to the room where Izumi was. Izumi. Something's wrong. Izuku. You want something good tomorrow. Izumi. Yes. Izuku. Then I want you to be at the park tomorrow at 11 in the morning, no other time. The boy left. Todoroki. What did you do? Izuku. Make things easier, tomorrow nothing elegant or very formal, but do bring some money. The boy only listened so that Izuku left. The next day Todoroki was on a bench nervous while Izuku spoke to him through a communicator that could not be seen because of his hair. Izuku. Calm down, it won't take long to get there. Izuku had a brown jacket that covered almost his entire body, a hat of the same color and black glasses, in addition to having a newspaper, while he was somewhat away from Todoroki. Todoroki. But what do I tell him? Izuku. Just relax and be yourself. That's when a green movie arrives. Izumi. Todoroki. Todoroki. Hello Izumi, it's a surprise to see you here. Izumi. Yes, Izuku told me to come at this time, but he's not here. Todoroki. You know he's punctual, maybe he just played a little joke on you. Izumi. I see. He noticed that he became a little sad, making him give himself a mental slap. Izuku. Plan A begins. This sensitive person now tries to cheer her up or make her feel better. Todoroki. Do you want to talk a little? I say to make you feel better. Izumi. Okay. The two began to talk to each other until they asked a question. Todoroki. Then why did they treat him badly? Izumi. I was quirkless because of that, but I regretted it after a few hours. Something sad. Izuku. Damn, you're screwing up now. Plan B starts. Todoroki. How about we go eat something? Izumi. Yes. The two of them went to a food stand so they could buy some hamburgers as well as some drinks, starting to eat while they walked through the park, eating between the two of them calmly while they talked. Izuku. Plan C starts. The two of them began to walk to a movie theater, something that Izuku noticed since everything started. A person who was dressed like him was following them, so he thought of a way to take care of this without ruining everything. When they entered the movie theater they went to see a movie while having some popcorn apart from 2 drinks. Izuku. Now just be natural and try to make him stick to you. Todoroki and Izumi sat together although Izuku noticed how the person was still following them. Izuku's mind. This person is starting to be a nuisance. After that they went out to notice that it was 4 in the afternoon, but Todoroki and Izumi went to the bathroom. Izuku. And something. Todoroki. No, I don't know what to do now. Izuku. Great, take her to UA to the forest. Todoroki. Why? Izuku. Just do it. When they left the bathroom Todoroki did what he asked to go to UA with Izumi to a part of the forest that Izuku told him. When they arrived they saw a kind of locker and Izuku. Izumi. Brother. Todoroki. Izuku, what are you doing? Izuku. Plan D. Todoroki's mind. Do we have a plan D? Izuku took Izumi to throw it inside the locker and incidentally did the same with Todoroki to close the locker. Izumi. Brother, take us out. Izuku. No. The two had their faces close to each other, although their blushes were noticeable apart from being pressed together. Todoroki's mind. Betrayal, brother, disappointment. Izuku only watched as the person approached. When the person saw the locker he was taken to be on the tree. Izuku. Who are you? And what do you want with them? Izuku. At that point his hat went away to see raven hair. Izuku. Momo. What are you doing? Momo. I should ask that. After a while, the two of them were sitting down. Izuku. So Izumi thought he was going to forgive her and he asked you for help. Momo. Yes, with you it happened that Todoroki likes Izumi and you made this whole plan. Izuku. Yes. Momo. Are you going to take it out of the locker? Izuku. No, just pulling it will open it. At that, just as he said, the locker was thrown to the floor and opened. Izuku took Momo so that they could hide, watching as the two came out apart from starting to walk, although they noticed that they were holding hands. Momo. My plan worked. Izuku. But if I. He fell silent when he saw Momo with scissors. Momo. My plan, yes love. Izuku. Yes. With a fear that he never felt. Training. After Izuku helped Todoroki in his infatuation with Izumi so that they would stay together since it was noticeable because they were together all the time and when they could, they gave each other secret kisses, being noticed by Izuku and Momo who had a smile. Izawa. We will all have a group training. Uraraka. How? Izawa. They will form groups of 2 people. Everyone began to choose their own, but to Izuku's pity, Uraraka took his arm. Uraraka. Ours is already there. Izuku. I don't want to. Izawa. I'm sorry Uraraka, but if Izuku doesn't want to team up with you then he's not on the team. That left the girl upset to see how Momo took her boy so they could form a team. Izawa. Well, the training will be a kind of fights between you, you will fight against a group at random. At that point he activated a machine so that it would begin to see who they were going to fight against. Izawa. Uraraka and Shirin's group against Momo and Izuku. They only went to a kind of place of rocks which had small mountains. They only walked to a point where they saw the enemy team. Momo. I ask Uraraka. Izuku. Then I'll stick with Shirin. Maybe you didn't choose Uraraka for something personal. Momo. No. Although the truth is that she wanted to make her pay for what she did to Izuku in the past, apart from trying to separate hers. Izuku. Then let's go. Only 2 appeared in front of them. Shirin. This will be easy. Izuku. The guy who paid his ass says it a lot of times. Shirin. Damn. Izuku only appeared in front of Shirin to hit him, sending him flying, followed by going against him. Uraraka. Deku-kun. Momo. Where are you going? Uraraka. Huh? Momo. Now you learn what happens when someone messes with my boy. Uraraka trembled at this, with Izuku and Shirin. Shirin. Damn it hurt. Izuku. You're getting weaker or I'm getting stronger. Shirin would begin to throw fireballs that Izuku dodged, as if it were nothing to begin jumping at high speed across the stone mounds to kick Shirin who flew away, but before he touched any stone he ended up with a blow to the stomach. By Izuku making a cloud of dust to give him another blow that made him cross several stones. Izuku. Are you tired already? Aren't you very strong? Shirin only threw a fireball at him, with Momo and Uraraka moments before. Uraraka looked at Momo to go against her, but when she did so she received a blow from her steel bar, causing the boy to grab her stomach, followed by hitting the girl in the face, along with a kick that knocked her to the ground. Uraraka was shocked, raising herself to throw some stones that Momo dodged with ease, but what the brown-haired girl anticipated was that Momo's blow made the girl go backwards while she took pain in the hit parts. Uraraka. I have to defeat you no matter what it costs me. Momo. And why? Uraraka. So that I can be with Deku-kun that way. Momo. What are you talking about? Uraraka. It's not obvious, he is with you because of your strength, because you are strong and you only use him for your benefits. Momo. You're wrong, he is with me just like me because we love each other, because I was able to repair the heart that you damaged and damaged again without any mercy. Uraraka. Let's see if you can handle this. She said it so that Momo could see some rocks fall on her. Uraraka. Take that. The rocks began to move so that a Momo who had a shield came out. Momo. You'll pay me for that. She said it to attack her with her metal bar to hit her in the head, causing her to end up unconscious. Before she did anything, she saw a fireball, but she couldn't dodge it because it hit her squarely, causing her to end up fainting, and this was noticed by Izuku. Shirin. Take that, what did you think? Izuku. Damn. In the observation room were Kirishima, Todoroki and Izawa wearing mariachi clothes from who knows where they got them from, I don't even know. Todoroki, Kirishima, Izawa. That friend is dead, they just haven't notified him. They saw how Izuku began to come out with his semi-monster part to hit Shirin, causing him to rise into the air, followed by starting to give him a large number of blows at a high speed until his body touched the floor, so that he began to receiving a shower of blows from Izuku, not allowing him to get up, followed by a kick that sent him through several rocks, so that Izuku grabbed him by the shirt to lift him into the air and make him hit the ground squarely. Jiru. That's why the song. Izuku looked at Momo to take her to our girl as quickly as possible, since she had some burns, but something he noticed was Shirin's smile that took little importance. Triple date. After Izuku and Momo completed a test in which they fought against Shirin and Uraraka, they emerged victorious, although Shirin ended very badly due to Izuku's blows, which did not have much mercy. At this moment, Izuku can be seen in the infirmary next to Momo's bed, waiting for her to wake up, but a certain red-haired boy entered. Kirishima. I finally found you, Izu bro. Izuku. What's wrong, Kirishima? Kirishima. I would like your help. Izuku. About what? Kirishima. Well, I saw how you helped Todoroki with Izumi. Izuku. Yes. Kirishima. I would like to know if you can help me with Kasumi. Izuku. So a man is afraid of a simple woman. Kirishima. You know how it is, I'm afraid of rejection, apart from the fact that she was in love with you from the beginning. Momo. We will help you. Izuku. And since when have you been awake? Momo. It's been a while, but that doesn't matter, we'll help you. In addition, I'll also help a friend. Izuku. In that case, Kirishima, go prepare for tomorrow. Kirishima. Yes. Just like that she left. Izuku. Now Kasumi is your friend. Momo. In fact, I was referring to another person who is asking me for help to move a little further in their relationship. The next day Izuku and Momo went to a park. Izuku. And why are we here? Momo. It's my plan. Just then Todoroki and Izumi appeared. Todoroki. Apparently this was what Izumi was referring to. Izumi. Yes, a triple date. Izuku, Todoroki. Triple date. Just then Kirishima and Kasumi appeared and noticed the two couples. Momo. Well, now we can start the fun. At that point they began to walk. Izuku. So this was your plan. Momo. Yes. The six of them walked through the park until they entered a restaurant where they ate together, although they made Kirishima and Kasumi sit next to each other so they could start talking to each other. After eating they all went to the cinema where they thought about what movie they could get to choose until they ended up in one of action. Izuku. Here are the entries, choose yours. Everyone began to choose their tickets so that they ended up next to each other of their respective partner so that they would line up until they entered. Kirishima. We forgot the popcorn. Izuku. Then you go and have Kasumi accompany you. Kasumi. Why me? Izuku. Don't tell me you're afraid to accompany a boy. Kasumi. Of course not. The girl only left with Kirishima. Todoroki. What happens if this doesn't work out? Izuku. I have hidden the locker where I locked you guys in a part of the forest. Izumi. Are you kidding? Momo. No pigeonholes here. Izuku. Okay. The black woman noticed how her boyfriend was making plans that included the locker, so she hit him on the head, making him abandon the plans, followed by the two boys coming in to sit down. Everything started normally with the movie, so they could watch it until it ended and everyone went outside. Izuku. It's already night. Momo. We have to go to UA. Izuku. There are 3 paths we can take. Kirishima. And which one do you suggest? Izuku. A competition. Todoroki. Which one? Whoever arrives first with his partner wins. Well, the losers will have to be the winning couple's slaves for a week. He said it as he took Momo in her arms and left. Todoroki. Don't even think that I will be your slave. At that he begins to make ice while he takes Izumi to go another way. Kasumi. Come on Kirishima, I don't want to be anyone's slave. Kirishima. Yes. The two went along the remaining path so that at the UA Izuku will arrive with Momo. Momo. Why did you do that? Izuku. That way it will take Kasumi and Kirishima longer apart from the fact that they are alone. Momo. And do you think it will work? Izuku. Yes. That's when they entered the Class 1 building to see through the window how Todoroki arrived with Izumi, so that minutes later Kirishima and Kasumi arrived although they were holding hands. Unexpected, after Izuku helped Kirishima with the topic of making a triple date, ending up as the green-haired man and the raven-haired girl wanted to see Kirishima and Kasumi end up together. At this moment Izuku was calm in class, although some had a smile that the boy distrusted. Until Izawa entered. Izawa. Before starting classes, Izuku, you can come. Izuku only got up to follow his teacher to a part that was the principal's room. When he entered he saw the principal and all the teachers. Izuku. Why did they call me? Midnight. Don't do it. Izuku. Make me what? Nezu. Midnight, calm down, young Izuku, there is a topic we have to talk about since young Shirin gave us some things. From his computer he showed photos and videos of Izuku working with something that was not good at all. Nezu. Working with a monster association is not a good thing, is it? Izuku. You seriously won't believe that was me. Giorka. And because we would believe you now. Izuku. I don't know, maybe why I fought against the League of Villains. I risked my life for this school. I fought against a damn Martian who wanted to kill us all. Izawa. But if you take Garou into account he's not very good for you. Izuku. So what are they going to want to do? He might. We will take you to Totters. Izuku. Catch me if you can. When he left the place, avoiding the attacks of Izawa and P-Might, he saw almost his entire class in front of him. Izuku. And what do you think? Lita. What do you think is a traitor? Bakugo. I always knew you were never going to be a hero. Bakugo went against Izuku like Lita, but Izuku dodged Bakugo's attacks to block Lita's kick, which he took to use the blue-haired boy as a hammer, as it made him crash into Bakugo, followed by Ejiro and Shoji who were sent flying. Izuku jumped without noticing that Zero threw his bandages to take the legs, followed by Kaminari who launched his electricity, hitting the green-haired man squarely, who looked at them with an angry face that caused great fear in the two alone. They take Zero's ribbons and use it to crash into Kaminari followed by the rest of the class. Shirin tried to hit him, but Izuku kicked him sending him flying. Izuku. The teachers are approaching, this is not good. The boy went out the window to go to the forest. Izawa. Don't let him get away. Everyone went to the forest while Izuku was running until he ran into some people. Izuku. What are you doing here? Todoroki. I thought it was obvious to you. Kasumi. Let's help you. Izuku. How? Izumi. Go find it, brother, you'll be fine while we're going to go somewhere else. Izuku. Thank you, but one thing before I go, I want you to keep an eye on your Raka, Bakugo and Shirin. Todoroki. Why? Izuku. Make my case, they have something to do with this apart from taking care of Momo. Well, I'm gone and Izumi, take care of yourself, sister. The boys only nodded for Izuku to go one way. Kirishima. This is going to hurt. Kasumi. And a lot. Everyone was looking for Izuku until they saw some explosions as well as ice, so they went to where they saw the four lying on the floor. He might. What happened? Todoroki. We encountered the traitor and he defeated us. Lita. Where did he go? They pointed to a totally different part where Izuku went while he was running until he reached the street where he saw a limousine where Momo's parents were seen. Momo. Come. The boy only paid attention to get into the limousine which he began to drive. Momo. How lucky you have escaped. Izuku. Can you help me? Momo. Well, of course, Momo asked us. Izuku. Where is she? Momo. She is at UA with Eri. Between the two of them they are acting as if they think you are a traitor, and they are crying. Izuku. I hope you're okay while I'm gone. Momo. What do you plan to do? Izuku. I'll have to look for my innocence. At that point they handed him a phone. Momo. That's so you can talk to Momo, talk to her in a week, she has you registered as Santos, so she will act like she met someone new. Izuku. Yes, I'll get off here. Izuku got out of the limousine to enter the forest where he ran until he reached his house, when he entered and arrived at the living room at the same time as Garou. Garou. A video and photos of the Monster Association. Izuku. Yes, the few friends I have left and my in-laws helped me. Garou. To my Mirko. Before they did anything they felt the danger approaching, so that in a moment the house exploded in fire made by Endeavor and the other heroes. Tracks. After Izuku supposedly betrays the UA, Garou is once again a villain, so they began to be followed by almost everyone, ending in his house exploding into pieces because of Endeavor. At this time, the heroes were searching through the rubble for some of the bodies, but nothing appeared. Nezu. Did you find anything? Endeavor. No, they hid very well it seems. Tatsumaki. I don't care about that, we have to find those who are very dangerous. At the UA. Everyone was in the dorm room although a group was in Izuku's room. Momo. Well, what do we have to do? Todoroki. Not much, he told us to just look for clues from Uraraka, Shirin and Bakugo. Kasumi. Maybe Shirin makes a little sense, but why Bakugo and Uraraka? Todoroki. If we think about it, it wouldn't be very strange. Everyone looked at him. Todoroki. Bakugo all this time claimed to be number one, but he was always overshadowed by Izuku, so it wouldn't be surprising if he did this. Kasumi. And what about the other one? Hiroshima. Uraraka still loves Izuku, and very much so it would not be surprising if he tried to ruin Izuku's career, so that later, she would show herself as the only one Izuku could trust. Momo. If she becomes like that I swear I will kill her. Izumi. Don't worry, Momo, we still have to look at these kinds of things in more depth. Todoroki. You're right, first we have to ask us to see their rooms and find something, then we'll decide what to do with them. Hiroshima. And when do we start? Todoroki. Wait a little, first we have to see this thoroughly. Momo has to see as if he is heartbroken and hates Izuku like Eri, we have to pretend to hate Izuku. Everyone nodded at this while in Izuku and Garou's destroyed house, you can see a kind of secret room underneath all the rubble. Izuku. Now we have to know what we can do. Garou. It occurred to me to go straight to the Monster Association. Izuku. What good would it be for us? Garou. We infiltrated and destroyed the entire base ourselves, the good thing is that if we kill someone in that place, they don't charge us because they are monsters. Izuku. Okay, let's go. Garou. Not so fast, let's wait for things to ease up a little before our whole plan is ruined, you have something at UA help us. Izuku. Something like that, some classmates believe in my innocence and are investigating possibly real traitors. Garou. Well, it will be very helpful. Izuku. Yes, let's get this over with. They touched a part of the wall where a door opened through which they took their path, starting to run non-stop to a part. Garou. How good are you at holding your breath now? Izuku. Better than before. Garou opened a hatch where water entered so they could leave the place. In a lake you can see how the two human monsters came out so they could start running. Izuku. There will be something to worry about. Garou. If you mean the strongest of the Monster Association, there is one called the Giant Centipede, a kind of guard dog, one that has the appearance of a cat, and one that directly has the power to divide itself into large parts. Izuku. Okay, are they the strongest? Garou. Yes, but the one we should really worry about is a certain Arachi, he would be their leader. Izuku. Well, let's look for the evidence that makes us look innocent and show it to all the heroes. Garou. Yes. In their house. Ryukyu. Endeavor come see this. Iridid approached, seeing a secret door that they opened, noticing a hidden room. Endeavor. They hid from all of us, damn them. Nezu. Well, wait, come in. Everyone entered to start running, but they only saw a lot of water and noticed that they ran away. Bakugo. After Izuku and Garou were able to escape apart from the UA. They were thinking of a way to show Izuku and Garou's innocence, so they spent days looking for a way to show Izuku's innocence, but they couldn't find anything in Shirin's room. Momo. We didn't find anything in Shirin's room. Todoroki. Then let's search Bakugo and Uraraka's room. Hiroshima. Then let's search Bakugo's room first. Everyone nodded to think of a way to enter his room, but they didn't think much when they saw Bakugo leaving his room followed by leaving the UA facilities. With Mina. Izumi. Problem solved. Everyone entered without being seen by anyone, so they began to search everywhere in the place until Kirishima went into the closet. Kirishima. Guys, come on, I think I found something. Everyone approached as Kirishima banged on the wall. Kasumi. Nothing happened. Kirishima. Not for this part. He hit another part, sounding hollow, surprising everyone who looked at each other to see how the boy broke that part with one blow, holding in hand some reports from Bakugo, who seemed to be with the separate Monster Association that talked about how he betrayed Izuku. Izumi. That's enough to show Izuku Nai's innocence. Todoroki. And what are we waiting for? Let's go to the director. They all went with Principal Nezu entering the place. Nezu. Do you need something? Momo. Yes, we want to prove that Izuku is innocent just like Garou. He said it by showing the reports. Nezu. I'm afraid I already knew about this. Hiroshima. What are you talking about? Nezu. You see, Bakugo is my insider in the Monster Association. Bakugo. Since Izuku arrived at UA I was apologizing to him until one day I was able to get his forgiveness. He said it as he stepped out of the shadows. Todoroki. Then how? Bakugo. Let me explain. Flashback. Bakugo, Nezu and Izuku can be seen in a room. Izuku. So this monster association is coming after Garou and me. Nezu. I'm afraid so. Izuku. Well, I have a plan that has to stay between us for the moment. Bakugo. What plan? Izuku. Bakugo, like you said, Shirin and Uraraka are in this monster association thing, although they are not spies for the UA, so we're going to pretend that I betray the UA. Nezu. Why would we do it? Izuku. If we do it, Bakugo will make sure that the monsters try to recruit Garou and we will accept, and when the time is right, you will attack the monster association from the outside and us from the inside. Bakugo. It's a good plan, but don't we need more people? Izuku. No, it would be very dangerous to put more people at the moment. Then flashback. Hiroshima. Then why did Izuku tell us to investigate you three? Bakugo. To be honest, I don't even know, Izuku keeps a lot of secrets which end up working. Let's just pretend this conversation never happened and Momo, maybe you'll be interested in this, it's a copy I made of an Uraraka leaf. He said it as he left the place and gave the sheet to Momo. Momo. That damn bitch. Izumi. What happened? They looked at the sheet which was a list of things. Make them betray Izuku, done. See him in the monster association and see me as the hope of him to fall in love with him in progress. But that, everyone knew that the jet was going to kill Uraraka, everyone left the place, while elsewhere Izuku walked with Garou through some underground tunnels. Izuku. Are you sure Garou that we will find everyone on this path? Garou. Yes I am. They walked until they saw many monsters which seemed not very friendly. Irachi. After everyone found some evidence although they ended up seeing how Bakugo was actually still Izuku's friend in secret while Izuku and Garou were in the monster association. At this moment the two were walking calmly without any kind of problems in the place. Without caring about anything even though they were seen by the monsters of the place. Izuku. Why do they look at us so much? Garou. Being that we are humans but at the same time monsters, it is not that easy if you understand what I mean. Izuku. It makes a little more sense. At that moment a monster stood in front of them. Monster. Come, Mr. Irachi wants to see you. The two followed him to a part where they found Irachi who looked imposing, although for Izuku and Garou, he was just another monster they could crush. Irachi. You are human monsters, I understand that you are stronger than me now, apart from how society turned its back on you and. Garou. Yeah, whatever, you're going to give us a room or something, otherwise we'll have to go somewhere else. Irachi. Well, in that case I do have a place for you, although the boy has to share a room with one of my servants. At that Uraraka appeared, greatly disgusting Izuku, who was only looking at this to see Irachi. Izuku. Don't you have something better? Irachi. You have to share a room with her. Garou. I wish you luck. The two went to their rooms while elsewhere at UA, a group was thinking about how to go after Izuku or prove his innocence. Momo. Is the evidence we have no longer enough? Bakugo. No, we need more things like. Todoroki. What more do you want? Just look, there are photos, videos, they are all evidence that show Izuku's innocence. Bakugo. Apparently they want the whole truth. Kasumi. Now what are you talking about? Bakugo. You see we planned an attack on the monster association and only when it is time are we going to attack and when we attack there is whether we will show Izuku's innocence. Hiroshima. Then we just have to wait. Everyone stayed in the place but in a moment they saw Mei enter. Mei. Guys, I have good news and we can finally see what Izuku is doing. Everyone was happy, although Momo was more so they could see what was happening, managing to see how the boy was with Garou walking next to Uraraka. Uraraka. Well, human monster, this is your room. She said it while she opened the door to a room for him, so Izuku and Uraraka began to walk together, although the boy took a quick look at the camera, letting them know that the boy already realized that he is watching them. Uraraka. Remember this Izuku, apart from being in my room with me, you cannot harm me in any way, you cannot harm me, and since we are, so to speak, in the process of having to trust you, you have to listen to me in everything I tell you. She said it while she looked between Izuku's legs making Momo angrier than usual. Izuku. As long as it has nothing to do with down there everything will be fine. Uraraka. Well, that's too bad because you'll have to please my hexual pleasures and I have more than understood the size of that thing and how you left that damn jet black girl for more than a day without being able to walk. Izuku. How? Uraraka. I was secretly watching them, when you are with her you let your guard down a lot. The boy was already a little upset until they reached Uraraka's room. Uraraka. Get ready because soon you will have to satisfy me. The boy was turned away with his back to Uraraka. Izuku. And if I don't want to? Uraraka. Well, I think I'll send several monsters for Momo's family and then against her to kill her. Upon hearing that, Izuku began to clench his fists, causing blood to almost come out of his fists. Izuku. If I end up catching you, I will hurt Momo a lot and that will make her lose forever, but if I don't, you will kill her as well as my daughter Eri and her parents. Uraraka. And that's something you don't want to happen. The boy was already more than furious, although the one who was watching this the most was Momo since the rest left, since Uraraka left Garou in her room, and they knew that if the Raven girl got angry they would not get out so unscathed. Plan. After Garou and Izuku arrived at the Monster Association facilities where they met Arachi and Uraraka, who was currently in Izuku's room, who was in a more than difficult debate since he had to deal with Uraraka, to whom if he didn't pay attention they would end up killing Momo and her family. Uraraka. Come on Izuku, I can't wait to start bucking. The boy began to take off his clothes, turning his back to Uraraka, but in front of him was the small robot of his girlfriend who was watching all of this. Izuku. I'm so sorry Momo, please forgive me, I'll hate myself after this. Momo. I forgive you Izuku. Uraraka. Don't speak so low and come at once. Izuku approached her with only his pants on, but from one moment to the next the girl threw him on the bed and began to kiss him, although it was obvious that Izuku did not like this. Uraraka. I'm going to enjoy it so much. Izuku. Not me, I swear one of these days I'll kill you. Uraraka. Then I'll make you end up loving me one way or another. The girl began to kiss him with greater passion, while she began to lick Izuku's torso, who felt enormous disgust until he saw that Uraraka's tongue was longer than normal, apart from some fangs that the girl had until he put his tongue in Izuku's mouth. Uraraka. I'm going to enjoy it. She said it while she had Izuku's pants in her hands, but before she took them off the door was knocked making her stop. Uraraka. Who the hell is he? Garou. Who else is a brat? He opens the door or I break it down. Uraraka. Okay, you were saved this time, but the next time it won't be like that. Izuku dressed as quickly as possible so she could leave the room. Everything was seen by Momo, who felt more relieved, and with the robot followed him to see that she was walking with Garou, but she was spitting on the floor. Izuku. It's disgusting that she found me kissing like that. Garou. Don't worry, brat, the time will come when we will get rid of them. The boy noticed some visible bites on Garou's neck. Izuku. Did they try to grape you? Garou. That sadistic queen or I don't know what, she really wants to grape me as much as that girl called Uraraka, but everything changed for the better. Izuku. What are you talking about? Flashback. Garou was in front of Arachi who was looking at him. Arachi. I have something for you, you will go to the surface to talk to the League of Villains and find out how you can reach an agreement with us. Garou. Yes, but I have a small request. Arachi. Which one? Garou. That girl called Uraraka and sadistic queen or whatever want to grape us and that might exhaust our strength, so I want my son to be in my room. Arachi. I can't do anything, they are my daughters and if I tell them that they will start bothering me. Garou. You are the father and king of the monsters. When he said the last thing he felt somewhat disgusted. Garou. He can do something so simple. Arachi. Okay, then I will comply with what you ask of me. Garou. Thank you. Then flashback. Izuku. I feel much better now. The two left the cave to start going to the League of Villains, arriving to find him. Garou. Who knew that the Great League of Villains was reduced to this? Tamura. What do you want? Izuku. We just came to talk, we come from the Monster Association and we want to be your allies. Kurogiri. How can we believe them? Garou. Not being with the heroes leaves us with the monsters and Arachi wants to have an alliance with you to destroy the heroes. Tamura. Sounds good to me. Izuku. In that case we leave you these papers so that you know everything. Out of nowhere a hero was heard through the door. Endeavor. We know you're their League of Villains, open the door. Izuku. Korin, that bastard owes us one for destroying our house. The League of Villains as they left to see Endeavor. Endeavor. Until monsters show themselves. At one point Izuku hit another in the face next to Garou so they could throw him to the ground from a barricade, but before they did anything else, the great fire hero received a blow from the two of them, leaving him unconscious so that they could leave at the same time. After a while more heroes arrived and saw Endeavor to help him by taking him to a hospital, but Nezu saw a paper so he took it. Nezu. Izuku left this. Mirko. And what does the traitor of the child and my damn ex-husband want? The heroine felt pain when saying it, but she needed to pretend. Nezu. Apparently it's a plan so we can put an end to both the League of Villains and the Monster Association. Saying that, Mirko was surprised as she looked at the paper. Plan Part 2. After Garou and Izuku went to the League of Villains to be able to ask him to join the Monster Association, apart from having a small confrontation against Endeavor after defeating him, although they left him a note for the UA about a plan for them, at this moment all of Izuku's friends as well as the director were in a part where no one will be able to see them. Todoroki. Why did Nezu call us? Nezu. Izuku left us a note in his confrontation against Endeavor and it is a plan that we have to put together. Hiroshima. Like a plan. And that he shows the papers. Momo. What is all this? Nezu. These papers mean maps and among other things to be able to attack the Monster Association. Bakugo. But it's halfway done. Kasumi. How? Bakugo. You see, this map is half done, but I know the other half. Nezu. Which means, Bakugo, that we can put together the map and form a plan to attack the monsters. Todoroki. Well, we make an external attack. Bakugo. I'll take care of the intern. Hiroshima. But won't there be many monsters? Bakugo. Yes, there are many of them. If I faced all of them alone apart from Irachi, who is in the place, I would undoubtedly die in a matter of time, but Nezu. Since Izuku and Garou are people who are incredibly strong, you can do the internal attack. Bakugo. Yes, Garou is at Irachi's level or rather superior, since I heard Irachi say that Garou surpassed him. Todoroki. And adding to Izuku that he is someone incredibly strong to the point of being able to keep up with Irachi, then this is better. Bakugo. Yes, we can destroy them. Momo. But we have to take into account the League of Villains. Izumi. They cannot be taken lightly. Nezu. Yes, we know, but the three of them are going to take care of that. Bakugo. Anyway, I'm leaving because I have to be at the Monster Association in a while. He said it as he got up to leave, while elsewhere Izuku was with Garou in his room. Izuku. Do you think they have resolved our message? Garou. Yes, they are very smart, so we can handle this. Izuku. I just hope everything turns out well. Garou. Son, everything will be fine. I noticed how he started to laugh a little. Garou. What are you laughing at? Izuku. This is one of the few times you called me son. Garou. Can't a monster say something calmly? The two showed a smile so they could only begin to relax so they could sleep. Stroke. After Izuku and Garou left a note for everyone to solve the problem, they were now in a room thinking about the attack they planned to make with some. How many heroes, since they told only a few, so that when the attack begins the rest can go. Nezu. Well, then we have the whole plan ready. Todoroki. We just need to think about how to tell Izuku and Garou. Bakugo. I'll take care of that, it won't be any problem for me. In total, I have to go today. Momo. Yes, but remember one thing, the fat girl from Pararaka is mine. Nezu. One thing I have to make clear, they are only monsters so they can kill without problems. Izumi. Are you serious, director? Nezu. Yes. That way everyone left, each one on their own, but as Momo walked, she noticed how Shirin stood in front of her. Shirin. Hello, beautiful. Momo. I'm not interested in you now, I'm out of my way. Shirin. I couldn't even tell you what I want to do. Momo. You only want to have me as your fiancé for my body and money, it's not that difficult to think about, but as always the answer is no and long. Shirin. Look, you better start being with me or else. He noticed a certain amount of eyes, and some explosions were present for him to see the group. Todoroki. I think he asks you to leave. Hiroshima. Come on bro, we don't want to fight in this part. Kasumi. Just leave her alone and that's it. Shirin. Or better, because they stay out of their business. At one point she felt a hand touch her shoulder, making her see Bakugo, who didn't have a friendly look. Bakugo. Let's get out of here, they're waiting for us. But that said, they only began to walk between the three of them, since Uraraka with a smile got between the two to begin walking to the exit. Kasumi. A little more time. Momo. No doubt that bitch will understand that no one touches mine. Elsewhere, Mirko was thinking about how to kill a certain monster princess, while at the Monster Association, Bakugo walked to where Izuku was, being in the part where they were alone. Izuku. And what happened? Bakugo. Let's just wait a little time and you can be the same again. Izuku. What are you talking about? Bakugo. Soon we will have to make an attack and everything will fall. Izuku. Now I feel much better with that news. How are Momo and Eri? Bakugo. They're fine, but from what I know, stupid Shirin wants to have Momo, and meanwhile he's going to leave Eri lying around. But that said, Izuku unconsciously activated his semi-monster form, showing great fury. Izuku. Where is that damn thing? Bakugo. Don't worry, you can go after him and kill him, but now we have to prepare ourselves. That way they walked to prepare, being with Garou to tell him everything about the plan, making him have a smile. Garou. Then in a few moments all this will be over. They began to walk, preparing to begin the plan, since they were in the sights of the place surrounded by monsters, but before anyone said anything, a tremor was felt. Garou. That's the signal. Bakugo. Yes. Izuku. I know they're going to catch the bucking bastards. The three had sadistic smiles to prepare to attack, while outside the heroes waited for a sign of something, so they began to attack from the inside. Attack 2. After they had made the plans for the attack, everyone was fighting, since outside the heroes began to enter the labyrinth facing the villains, while inside the place Bakugo was making explosions at all the monsters, killing them. Garou and Izuku just killed them with one blow as if they were nothing. Garou. You guys run, I'll take care of the rest of the things. Izuku. What are you talking about, Dad? Garou. It's easy, that Irachi guy thinks he's the king of the monsters and I have to show him the truth. Izuku. Okay. Bakugo. We'll make sure the other monsters die. They went against the other monsters, starting to kill them without any mercy until they noticed something in the distance. It was Shirin and Uraraka escaping from the place. Izuku. I have to kill them. Bakugo. We will go get them, but now we have to take care of them. Izuku. No, we have to go now. Bakugo. In that case I'll make way for you. He extended his hands through which he launched two huge explosions so that Izuku began to pass between the dead monsters and anyone who stood in his way he killed with enormous ease, as if they were nothing before him. He advanced to where Shirin was and Uraraka who passed through a huge steel door. When he was about to pass, the door closed, preventing him from passing through. Izuku. Damn. Bakugo. Well, if you couldn't have the revenge you wanted so much, then come with me because I'm starting to be surrounded by the other monsters. Izuku. Okay. He started running and all the monsters surrounding Bakugo in a moment ended up headless because of Izuku. Bakugo. Let's get out of here, we have nothing to do now. Izuku. Come on. They began to run, destroying every monster that crossed their path, while outside were all the heroes destroying all the monsters. Endeavor. We have to move forward, we can't let even one of them escape. Midnight. Relax Endeavor, we can handle all of them. At one point Mirko noticed the sadistic princess on one side so that she would have a smile on her face. Mirko. If you leave me alone for some time, I have to take care of a certain woman. He said it as he began to walk in the direction of the sadistic princess who was trying to take a slave but was unable to until he noticed Mirko approaching her. Sadaka. Apparently someone is coming to die. Mirko. Yes, I'll show you what happens when they mess with my man. Sadaka. So you are Garou's ex-wife. Mirko. Correction, I am his queen and now you are the dead one. In another part of the battlefield, Momo was with the class fighting the monsters until he noticed Uraraka on one side going with Shirin. Uraraka. Oh no girl, you're going to learn what happens when someone messes with me. He said it as he began to walk in the direction of Uraraka, while inside Garou had finished off all the monsters. Irachi. What does this mean? Why did you kill yours? Garou. It's obvious, I have to kill all those who dare to reveal themselves to their true king. Irachi. Are you the true king of the monsters? It must be a joke. Garou. I'll show you no and what happens when someone wants to make me angry. He said it as he began to transition into full monster form, having a more intimidating presence than Irachi who felt a little intimidated, but he put it aside as he looked at Garou who had a sadistic smile. Attack 3. After the heroes continued attacking the Monster Association, causing them to begin to separate, although soon there were going to be some fights which were going to be a little personal. With Shirin and Uraraka they were running until they dodged a shot of a cannonball so they could see a jet black woman. Shirin. Look who we have in front of us. Uraraka. Momo yaoi Rozu's bitch who wants to take what's mine from me. Momo. Without a doubt I will enjoy breaking your bones. Shirin. Please, Uraraka, don't kill her, she just leaves her a little alive so that I can enjoy her body a little. Uraraka. Whatever you want. They were about to launch themselves, but at one point a kick hit Shirin's face so that they could see Izuku in front of them. Izuku. Looks like I'm on time, love. Momo. Yes, it seems that way. Uraraka. What does this mean? Momo. All this was another plan by Izuku and Garou who knew very well how to end the Monster Association. Izuku. I'll take care of Shirin. Momo. Then that leaves me with Uraraka. Uraraka. Damn, I'll kill you, you'll see. Shirin came out of the rubble to look at Izuku with pure anger. Shirin. Damn you, since I saw you again my whole life has changed for the worse, without a doubt I will kill you. He said it while his hands began to have claws, his skin began to have scales, now he had fangs along with slanted pupils. Izuku. And I'm supposed to be afraid of that. He launched himself at Shirin, who tried to hit him with a fireball that was easily dodged by Izuku, who looked at him to kick him in the face. Shirin tried to hit him again with his claws, but the green-haired man grabbed him by the head. They crashed it against the ground, breaking it a little. Shirin in a quick movement tried to hit him, but in a second a rain of kicks and fists hit him all over his body, sending him flying. Izuku. And this is just the beginning. But Momo the black girl was easily dodging Uraraka, who only showed a face of fury, trying to touch or do something to the girl, but it was useless. Momo created some knuckles to hit Uraraka in the face, who at this bit out of there was a little blood, but she couldn't prevent another blow to the stomach from taking the breath out of her, so that the girl followed up with a kick to the face, making her look at the sky at times only to receive another blow to the face that knocked her to the floor. Momo. Come on, get up, this isn't over yet. Elsewhere the sadistic princess was using her whip trying to hurt Mirko who dodged it to go against her, giving her a strong kick that sent her crashing against a wall. Mirko. Come on, don't tell me that's all. Sadaka. Damn, you'll see. She saw him try to whip her, but it was the same result. She couldn't do anything to Mirko, but at one point she dodged a blow from a man and stopped him from kicking him, sending him flying. Mirko. And that one who gets involved. Sadaka. I hope you like my slaves. The controlled people went against Mirko, who had a smile to launch against him, starting to kick all of them, sending them flying as if they were paper. Where they were, the heroes fought against the monsters, destroying them. Endeavor. This is getting easier. Sniper. And even more so with the help of the other heroes. They saw the others like Tatsumaki, Silver Fang and other S-class destroying the monsters until they saw a portal generate where Tamura came out. Tamura. Well, a deal is a deal, we have to fulfill our help. They saw how a few Nomas came out, including some members of the League of Villains, but things got worse when they saw Gigantomachia in the place. Lady. Well, now this won't be easy at all. Silver Fang. Let my brother and I take care of that thing. From. It won't be a problem to deal with brute force. They launched themselves against Gigantomachia while everyone like Genos and a caped Calbedo went against the Nomas, beginning to destroy them as if they were nothing before them. Attack 4. After Izuku arrived to fight alongside Momo, apart from Mirko taking care of the sadistic princess and the League of Villains arrived with Gigantomachia to the place to start fighting, everyone was fighting doing their best, but in one part there was a Garou with a serious look on his face. Garou. You better give up, Irachi, you don't have a chance. Irachi. We'll see that when I kill you, you damned bastard. He launched himself at Garou using his horns, but he destroyed them in a second. Irachi. How? Garou. You never wondered why I proclaimed myself the king of the monsters. The giant monster began to see Garou changing his form. Garou. Last time you fought me using my semi-monster form, but now we'll see how you do against full monster Garou. Irachi. Please, you are nothing against me. He threw his giant fist at Garou, who responded in the same way by bumping fists making a wave, but when Irachi moved that arm away, he noticed how it had cuts. Irachi. How? Garou. It seems like you didn't expect it. He began to see Garou, who was walking towards him. Garou. I will destroy you no matter what. Irachi. That's impossible. Garou. We'll see who gets to hell the fastest. He said it while he launched himself against Irachi, with Mirko. Sadaka. How come I'm losing to a rabbit? Mirko. That happens because I am the strongest woman. Mirko. Damn, I won't let a simple woman beat me like it's nothing. He said it while he sent his whip to Mirko, who took it easily. Mirko. And you wanted to conquer Garou being so weak. The woman made the sadistic princess go towards her only to kick her in the stomach, causing her to spit out her blood as she fell to the floor clutching her stomach. Sadaka. I don't understand, how is this possible? Mirko. Get ready because I'm going to have fun breaking your bones. With Izuku and Momo, between the two of them they kept Shirin and Uraraka at bay, who only tried to do significant damage but failed. Izuku. Hey Momo, do you want to finish this once and for all? Momo. If I get tired of playing with them. The girl created two swords to throw against Uraraka, who only tried to counterattack in some way by lifting some stones or things that were near her, but it was useless. Nothing worked against the jet that only advanced against her until she reached to hit him in the face with the handle of her swords, followed by a kick. Uraraka fell to the ground although she tried to go against him again, but ended up with a cut from Momo's sword, removing her arm. With Izuku. The green-haired man was dodging the fireballs that Shirin was throwing in an attempt to hit the green-haired man, but he managed to avoid them to get in front of him. Izuku. You're so weak. She said it to kick him in the stomach, causing her to spit out blood, followed by receiving a shower of blows. Izuku. Current destroys rocks. All those punches and kicks completely annihilated Shirin to the point when he finished, the boy only fell to his knees before him while being close to Uraraka. Shirin. Come on, put the handcuffs on and let's get this over with. Uraraka. It doesn't matter that I'm missing an arm, I'll still be able to go out again to be with my Izuku, because you damn took something from me that is rightfully mine. The raven girl looked at the green-haired man who had a serious look. Izuku. She is a monster just like her family, monsters cannot be locked up, while Shirin is only half monster, she ate a monster organ to be this way. Momo. So can I. Izuku. Yes you can. Momo. Thank you, I always wanted to do this. He took her sword to stab it into Uraraka's heart, killing hers. Shirin. What did they do? They killed her. Izuku. Unlike you, if she was a monster that hid using a human form, they can't fool us. At one point she saw how the professionals began to arrive to take Shirin away from the place. Tatsumaki. It seems like a part of you is good. Izuku. Thank you, but this is not over yet, we need to finish all of this once and for all. They began to walk seeing Gigantomachia in the place where she fought against the professionals. Attack 5. After they finished off Uraraka and left Shirin unconscious, everyone was walking calmly without problems fighting the remaining monsters, but they noticed how in the distance Fang and Fong were fighting against Gigantomachia, since he himself was keeping all the heroes at bay. They approached the same one. Momo. We're having trouble dealing with that thing. Tatsumaki. It won't be a problem, I can finish it in a few seconds. Izuku. No need. Tatsumaki. Why not? Izuku. Just look at what's approaching him right now. At that point they noticed a cape with a bald man wearing it and a yellow suit walking towards Gigantomachia. Tatsumaki. That low-class hero again, what is he doing in this place? Momo. He needs help if he is from a lower class. Izuku. He doesn't need it, I know very well who he is and his destructive potential. Garou was able to tell me about him, he is a very strong person, quite strong to be honest. Momo. Really? Izuku. If he just looks. In the battle Fang and Fong were doing their best to attack Gigantomachia, but there were no results with this one, who seemed to have no damage or effects from his attacks. It was as if nothing could be done to that being of enormous proportions. Fong. This seems like when we fought the Emperor Centipede. Fang. We have to put an end to this, it's a huge danger for everyone. At one point they saw Genos going against them. Genos? Incineration. Saying that, he launched a large amount of fire against Gigantomachia, but that damage did not result as he expected. The enormous being came out of the smoke in order to finish him off, but Genos tried to attack him from different angles, trying to do significant damage, but none of that worked. That being was practically invincible in the eyes of everyone. Tatsumaki. I'm tired of this. He said it to go against Gigantomachia, trying to use his powers on him, but it didn't work because despite the enormous pressure he put on the giant, it had no effect. Tatsumaki. How is this possible? This is impossible. Gigantomachia looked at her to try to hit her, but Genos pushed her so that he received the damage fully, causing him to be sent flying, breaking his right arm, as well as his left leg. Genos. He is stronger than he thought, what kind of being is this? From a distance, through cameras, everything was seen by a doctor who had a smile on his face. Doctor? This is impossible, they can't do anything to Gigantomachia, he is a being that replaces the power of all for one, he has a huge variety of quirks inside him, he is someone invincible, and by far he is my perfect Nomu. He was starting to laugh like a madman, but something happened that he didn't expect. Saitama. It seems that you are someone very strong, I want to test my strength with you, normal blow. With one blow he made that enormous being split in half, surprising the doctor and all the villains who looked at this with a clear impression of such an amount of power that they had just seen. Doctor? How is this possible? He defeated Gigantomachia with one blow. Who is this guy? I was beginning to see the recordings in the other cameras of how Saitama killed all the Nomus that were in front of him with a single blow. Doctor? How is this possible? Saitama? Not again, it didn't last a single hit. Why? Momo? Who is that guy? Izuku? Saitama is the one-hit man, my teacher faced him a while ago, but he couldn't beat him, he said that he could defeat anyone with a single hit, he doesn't even make an effort to fight. At one point they heard an explosion to see how it was Irachi who was trying to attack Garou, but he dodged it with his smile, and his monster form was present in the place. Garou. This is over, current destroys rocks. Everyone saw how that combo of blows attacked Irachi, breaking different parts of his body, as if it were nothing before the human monster, and before the eyes of everyone, when he finished he fell to some rocks, remaining standing before the eyes of everyone, so that the monsters could begin. Kneel before him. After they had fought and managed to defeat the Monster Association apart from the League of Villains, starting to have a little peace, they put everyone in prison that day, while Izuku was now only returning to the UA where everyone was waiting for him, both family and friends, everyone saw how he entered the bedrooms. Izuku. What do you think, I'm back. Hiroshima. It's good to see you again Izu bro. Bakugo. You don't know how unbearable the rest of them were just to see you. Izuku. And why is that? Lita. Well, what happens is that we want to apologize for what we did to you that day for turning our back on you. Izuku. I don't hold a grudge against you, but don't think that I'm going to treat you like friends either. Kasumi. So all this time my brother was a spy without him knowing it, right? Bakugo. I'm afraid none of you found out about that because it was part of my job not to let myself be discovered. Izuku. And you played it very well. Iri. Dad. The little girl went to where the green-haired man was hugging the same man who could only reciprocate the hug with joy seeing his daughter. Izuku. It seems like someone really misses me, tell me Iri, did you behave well? Iri. Yes I was covering Bakugo, Shirin and Uraraka's room with pink and black paint. Bakugo. Wait what? He went to his room seeing all his things in a pink tone. Bakugo. When did he do this? Momo. She is very cunning and quick when she wants to. Bakugo. That damn girl I swear I'm going to. He was silenced by Izuku who punched him. Izuku. No bad words. Bakugo. Damn nerd, don't shut me up. At one point he began to feel a terrifying presence to turn around being Akemi from Shiketsu Academy with an evil smile. Amy. Did you try to insult me when you were a girl? She said it to start hitting Bakugo who was just suffering from this. Izuku. And since when have these been coming out? Momo. In fact, let's say that since they turned their back on you, this happened. Izuku. That answers a few things. They began to walk, but he saw how the teachers stood in front of him. Izuku. Now what? Don't tell me that there is now false evidence showing that I am a traitor. Izawa. Not really. All Might. We want to give you an apology for what we did to you. Izuku. Nothing happens, it was in Nezu's plans, we already saw this before. Nezu. That's true, luckily it worked and now we can rest a little more. But that they walked calmly so that the green-haired man entered his room seeing how everything was destroyed. Izuku. I think I have to change some things. He began to see how some people came in exchanging the destroyed things for new ones. Izuku. And this. Present Might. It's part of our apology. Izuku. Well, I think I can accept it a little, if they let me I have to rest a little. He passed the time and it was already night when he was lying in his bed looking at the ceiling without having noticed that someone entered his room until he began to notice how Eri was climbing onto his bed. Izuku. Is something wrong? Eri. Not only do I want to spend more time with my father and not let you go again, you worried me a lot, I thought you weren't going to come back. Izuku. Don't worry, I'll always be with you, things are already over, we can be calmer from now on. Eri. Okay. The girl settled into her arms to fall asleep next to Izuku who had a smile, although she noticed how Momo entered with a smile because she saw everything. Momo. It seems like someone is getting used to all this. Izuku. Let's say yes though first of all. She saw how he got out of bed without waking Eri to close the door and stand in front of her, having some nerves, something that she almost never saw before him. That strong boy who was sincere and not afraid of anything, was now nervous in front of her. Coming to tremble. Momo. You can tell me whatever you want, you know I'll listen to you. Izuku. Well, to be honest, I know we're young and all that, but I want to say that I'm tired of continuing to see you in the hallways of UA in the bedrooms, but when all this is over we don't see each other as often. To be honest, I don't want to continue like this. The Raven girl was beginning to think that the green-haired man was breaking up with her, being on the verge of crying and feeling like her heart was going to break, but she saw how he knelt down even though he was nervous, followed by showing a small box in her hands. Izuku. That's why Momo Yaoi Rozu when we finish with the UA and all that I would like you to marry me. She said it to show that inside the box was a ring with a diamond, surprising the Raven girl who began to let out some tears, while Izuku had a noticeable blush but noticed the Raven girl's tears. Izuku. I understand if it seems too soon or if you want to do this. At one point he was hugged by the girl. Momo. Of course if I want to marry you. But that Izuku had great internal happiness just to kiss his partner with happiness. Momo. Let's go to bed before Eri wakes up. The two of them went to bed feeling calmer than before but still having that happiness. Marriage. 2 years have passed since Class 1 together with the other professionals managed to stop the association of monsters, defeating them all, leaving each and every one of them completely dead, while those who managed to survive ended up being prisoners just like the League of Villains. Now the classes of Class 3 were over, everything was over, there was not as much crime as before, but the most important thing was how everyone was in a gala place. Kirishima. I really can't stand having this suit anymore, I want to take it off. Bakugo. Just hold on a little longer and stop bothering me. Todoroki. Yes, but the next wedding if I don't remember correctly is Kirishima's, followed by Bakugo's. Kasumi. It's true we have to think about preparations. Bakugo. You better shut up. Kirishima was soon going home with Kasumi, while Todoroki was going to be with Izumi and Bakugo, one way or another ended up with Kami from the other school. Kirishima. It's kind of taking a long time. Bakugo. I'm going to see what the hell happens to him. Kasumi. I think I'll do the same. The ash-haired girl walking towards the bride's room finding Momo who had a beautiful snow-white wedding dress, she had her hair tied as always, but this time with some white flowers, the girl was with Jiro, Kami, Izumi, Kendo, Sayu and Abara. Kasumi. Why are they taking so long? We have to start. Kami. We're trying to calm her down. He looked at the girl, she was a little agitated, something that was quite noticeable in the eyes of the ash-haired girl. Kasumi. What the hell is happening? Momo. What if he doesn't show up? Or what if he says no at the end of it all? What if a villain appears or something? Those questions showed the girl's nerves since she was more than nervous about the wedding. Kasumi. Hey Momo, do you remember everything you had to go through with Izuku? Momo. What? Doubt appeared before her face. Kasumi. Remember how they met when they went after my idiot brother, when they simply separated because of a deception by the fat girl Uraraka, but they came back, how they turned their backs on him, but you helped him and continued helping him with the desire to be with him. During all these years the 3 years were together no matter what happened, I am sure that everything will turn out well. Momo. It's true, everything will turn out well. But that she began to leave the room. Izumi. Thank you for that. Kasumi. It's nothing, I still can't believe that Izuku has forgiven you and your family. Izumi. Not me, although out of pity that idiot Shirin ended up in prison and is having the worst time. Kasumi. Yes, but he asked for it. Izumi. It's true, at least my mom is calmer, knowing that she partially recovered Izuku. Elsewhere in a room Izuku was sitting while he received encouragement from Mirio, Tamaki, Tokoyami, who was with a fan among others. Bakugo. What the hell is happening? Mirio. It's nothing, he's a little scared about getting married. Hiroshima. But he proposed to her years ago. Izuku. Yes I know, but now we are in the same place to get married, the nerves consume me inside believe me. Todoroki. At least you have to try to do things, I mean, go and say that you accept her as your wife. Izuku. If only I have to do that. The boy got up to try to walk, but he began to stagger to be grabbed by Mirio. Tamaki. I think his nerves just won't let him continue. Izuku. No, I have to continue. Bakugo. Come on old friend, we have to go. Hiroshima. Wait, I'm not his best friend. Izuku. If you're my best friend, Bakugo is the old one, and Todoroki is the one who tells me how it feels to be hit by a teapot. Bakugo. I feel old now. Todoroki. And I'm offended. Mirio. Let's just go. Now where they were everyone saw how the doors opened allowing Eri to enter in front throwing some flowers. Behind her was Momo demonstrating her great beauty in front of classmates, families, friends among others. The typical perverts Miyanta and Kaminari almost fell down. Their perverted minds, but they didn't do it because Kaminari, for the simple fact of having Izuku and Jiro before his eyes while Mineta, the last time he made Izuku angry, nothing good happened to him. The woman walked towards where that green-haired man was. A smile to stand next to him. Father. Well today we are gathered. And in that way he continued talking until he reached the most important part. Father. Izuku, do you accept Momo as your wife? The raven girl looked at the green-haired man who had a smile. Izuku. Yes I accept. Father. And Momo, do you accept Izuku as your husband? Momo. Yes. Father. Well with this I declare you husband and wife. With that, the raven woman launched herself to kiss the green-haired man who accepted the kiss with pleasure, only for everyone to applaud for this act, so that after a while the two of them left in a car, spending a few moments until they arrived at a house where Izuku entered, bearing in mind his arms to the jet. Momo. Are you sure it's a good idea to leave Eri with Garou? Izuku. Yes, I'm sure of that, she's more than fine with him, apart from more than once they had fun. Elsewhere Eri was hitting some trees, destroying them as if nothing had happened before Garou looked on, who had a smile. Eri. How am I doing grandpa? Garou. You're doing fine, just keep going. At one point the human monster was grabbed by the ear to see Mirko. Mirko. What do you think you're doing? She's just a girl now that she stopped training. Garou. Okay. Again with Izuku and Momo, the girl was laid down on a bed, while that green-haired man with a smile on his face stood next to her to kiss her. Izuku. How I enjoy this. Momo. Me too. The two continued kissing, letting what had to happen happen. Stronger combat. The years passed since Izuku and Momo were able to get married, having children between them, only so that with the passage of time they would become better known among professionals. Now he was at the door of the house with Momo in front of him, who was with a green-haired girl and a jet-black young man. Izuku. It's good to see them at least during this time, a little won't do anything wrong. Momo. I still don't understand why you have to fight him. Izuku. My teacher and I already said it, we want to do this and we are going to do it. Momo. Okay, try to come back. Izuku. It's going to be that way. He said it as he came to give the woman a kiss as she passed by with her children. Izuku. Take care of yourselves for the moment, Ringoku and Tomi. Were his words towards the boy named Ringoku and Tomi, Izuku's daughter. The man went out, starting to walk for a while until Garou stood next to him, that human monster who shows fear wherever he goes. Garou. Then we'll start with this at once. Izuku. Defeating that bald man in a cape is what I have in mind. The two walked to a desert where upon arriving they could only see a bald man with a cape and in the distance they could be seen by everyone. Saitama. It's you said you want to see me now. Izuku. Yes, we want to fight, just want to end this with someone who can beat you. Saitama. Sounds good to me, whenever you want we'll start. She said it while he only had his gaze on them. Garou. Do something important, don't hold back. Izuku. That's fine with me, I'm not going to do it. He said it as they began to transform into their full monster forms under the gaze of Saitama who had a smile. Saitama. Let's begin. At that, both Izuku and Garou launched themselves against him, landing a blow on the bald man with a cape who was about to hit Izuku, but Garou intervened by kicking his face, sending him flying. In a second, they launched themselves against him again. He began to land his blows on that man who was only supporting him until he finally managed to land a blow on Izuku, causing him to fly off and crash into some rocks. Garou. Miserable, now you're going to see what I'm capable of doing. Saitama. That's fine with me, anyway I love having someone who can have a fight with me. Garou tried to provoke him by kicking him in the face, only for him to receive a blow from the man that sent him crashing into other rocks. In a second, Izuku kicked him, sending him flying. Izuku. This wretch really is powerful, he doesn't even make an effort to fight. Garou. Don't stop, we must end this. Izuku. Okay. The two of them launched themselves against Saitama, who did the same, having a smile, beginning to exchange blows with him. From a distance, everyone looked surprised as that level of combat reached large scales, making everything shake. Hiroshima. Well, he really got stronger. Todoroki. I just want to know how this ends. Kasumi. It is said that this Saitama guy is the strongest in the world, it doesn't surprise me that he beats those two. Momo. Well, have faith, they can beat him. Izumi. It's true, my brother is capable of everything. At one point during the fight Saitama sent them flying, but Izuku managed to grab him by the foot, carrying him with him, keeping him in the air, something that Garou was able to take advantage of to start dealing blows to Saitama, who supported him until he flew away due to the number of blows he could receive. Izuku. This is getting out of hand, we must be able to do stronger damage than the previous ones if we really want to cause damage. Garou. Then try attacking his vital points, maybe it will help. But that they launched themselves against Saitama, who began to receive blows from the two of them at great speed. Saitama. His blows are strong, but they lack more power. He said it as he hit each of them, causing them to lose their breath as they kneeled before him. Izuku. His blows are very strong, we still haven't been able to do anything to him. Garou. Then let's try to give it our all. At that, they got into a combat pose while they began to make some movements at the same time. Izuku. Mill currents destroy Rock's iron cutter. But that attack added to double the power, he went directly towards Saitama, causing him to end up receiving that deadly combo of attacks, causing him to fly away only to crash into a rock, making a rather large cloud of dust. Izuku. I think we gave it our all already. Garou. If he doesn't, we'll find ourselves in trouble. At one point they saw Saitama come out with some noticeable wounds on his body with little blood coming out. Saitama. They were some good hits, but they should still give something better like this. At one point a flurry of fists hit Garou and Izuku, who spat blood as they began to fly away, falling to the ground, being badly injured. Bakugo. Is it over? Hiroshima. Can't he be defeated by anything? Mirko. No, they still have something up their sleeve. Momo. They were preparing it for a long time, and now they are going to use it in battle. They saw how they began to get up little by little while their bodies changed. Garou's hair began to have a more pointed shape, his arms began to look like pure rock, while the rest of his body did that, his body began to draw a dark aura around it. On Izuku's side, he began to have a more creepy appearance, as his body seemed to be covered in fire, giving a demonic appearance to everyone's eyes. Bakugo. What's wrong with them? Mirko. It is their last card that they can use to defeat him. Momo. They already have the full monster form, but they are going to use a new ultimate monster state. He said it as they looked at the two monsters and the human with infinite power about to face each other. Who is the strongest? Everyone looked at the group where Izuku and Garou were in their most powerful forms against a man who was considered the strongest in the world. Hiroshima. I don't think this will end well now. Todoroki. This fight means the end of everything for everyone. Momo. Come on Izuku, you can beat him, you always showed it. The three of them began to walk in order to finish that powerful battle they were having at that moment. Saitama. You plan to give your best, that means I must give my best if we really want it to be of any use. Garou. Let's go with everyone at once. Izuku. Let's end this fight once and for all. In that way, everyone disappeared only for an explosion to begin in the place where Saitama, Garou and Izuku were fighting among themselves, with everyone watching from a distance as fists and kicks flew wherever these warriors were, being that in a moment they separated to reunite with Garou kicking Saitama, the bald man punched Izuku, and the young man only punched Saitama, managing to separate so that Garou would jump into combat to finish him off. Garou. Let's see if you can stand this, Saitama. The two bumped fists, creating a current of air, continuing in that way until the bald man managed to advance as always, although he did not come out completely unscathed, since he found himself with a large part of his clothes destroyed and blood was running on his body, before he could take a breath. Izuku fell on top of him only for them to begin to continue the fight in that way without one having the mercy of the other. Garou. This fight is bigger than I thought. Sai. I think we didn't have to approach that way. Haminari. Maybe it's best to move away now, I guess we don't have any other options with these two, who are only destroying each other. Yubuki. I have never seen Saitama give as much in a fight as he does now, it seems like this is the first time he has fun. Silver Fang. Without a doubt it is the first time we see a smile on him while he has a fight. He said it while they watched as Saitama had a smile in his fight against the two monsters he was facing. Saitama. I must thank you for this, really thank you. Izuku. Now what the hell are you talking about? Saitama. I forgot, a year ago I forgot what it was like to feel a fight, to have sweat, blood coming out of my body, but most importantly to be excited to have a fight. He said it while hitting him in the stomach, making him spit out blood, only to be kicked by Garou, who was serious about this. Garou. I can say the same, never before has someone forced me to go to this point, now let's give it our all. But that in the fight the three separated only for Izuku to get on Garou's side, and Saitama was preparing a blow. Izuku. We must end this. Garou. I think the same, Millstream destroys Steel Cutter rocks. Saitama. Definitive blow, death. Izuku. Strike of the King of Monsters. Each one carried out their attack while approaching each other. Once the two powerful movements collided against Saitama's blow, they only caused the entire place to fly into pieces everywhere, generating a huge wave that managed to drag some people through, and the impact of that attack, only so that at the end, everyone saw a cloud of enormous dust. Hiroshima. Who won? Todoroki. I don't know. Izumi. We must get closer. Everyone began to approach while looking at a huge crater where the three warriors were in the center with wounds all over their bodies, but without a doubt their arms were the ones that bore the worst result until Saitama was like that. Saitama. I never thought I would feel this again, really, thank you. Garou. I must say the same, although even the thoughts hurt me. Izuku. I think resting a little won't do anything bad. He said it while the three of them were laughing about it, and little by little Momo, Fubuki and Maruko approached their partners to help them, since they were only laughing about their fight and their injuries they just had. Well people, this was the last chapter of Izuku the Human Monster. Thank you very much for watching this fic. How to support it, that's why I would like you to continue watching my other stories apart from being able to support them and follow me in the same way. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown in left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.